Hi everyone, just wanted to share with you our new chicken run and coop which were built last week. So something I'm particularly pleased with the way it's turned out and just wanted to share with everybody. So I think we have a lady laying an egg at the moment, but I've got two British-tailed Araucanas and a Buff Sussex, of which I've had since she was a chick. So first of all, the actual run itself is made out of wooden batons, which is surrounded by some green chicken mesh, which we picked up on Amazon, to be honest, which was quite cheap. Sat on some sleepers for height and just to keep the earth underneath them secure. So first things first, the girls live on poultry wood chip, very different from bark. Obviously, I think there's a fungus in bark which can harm chickens. This is just a specialised like playground or poultry wood chip. So the wood chip, if I move a little bit out of the way, is sat on, it's a weed membrane first of all on top of the earth, which stops the earth and mud from coming up and stops the wood chip from getting dirty. And on top of that there is a turf protector, which again we bought on Amazon for really cheap, and that stops the girls from scratching through to the earth and damaging the membrane underneath. Poultry wood chips, quite cheap. We get it from a place called Hens for Pets. I think I can get a couple of bags. I can't remember how much it is, but it's not particularly expensive. I tend to change that every 5 to 6 months depending on the weather, etc. So here, that is a wood tree stump which I bought when we were buying our Christmas tree last year. It just means I've got a level place to have their water bucket and also something to balance their perch on, which they seem to love sitting on, which is just a stick balanced against the wood. Back there is a tree stump which I stripped all the bark off last year and gave a good clean. Again, it's just something to make it look a bit more interesting in there, but they do enjoy perching on. So the food and water is on some sleepers which we've cut up and painted. They have got a second water feeder in there as well. There have been a very rare few occasions where they've knocked the water over, so I just like to have two just in case I've got a long day at work. Back there is a feathers and beaky feeder. I've gone through absolutely loads of feeders and this one really works for me. It holds a lot of food in there, which I don't tend to have to change every sort of 3 or 4 days, sometimes a week. Also the bit that they eat out of is a bit deeper, so it keeps the wood chip out. At the back is a feathers and beaky board and buster, again which I picked up on eBay. I bought the peck sticks in there off Amazon in bulk for quite cheap. I absolutely love them and they'll spend ages pecking at them. Back here is the dust bath. I'm going to change that today, but essentially it's made up of kiln dried sand. I put some de-earth in there, but not too much because I don't want it to affect their breathing. And it's also got some wood ash in there which I get off my dad out of his wood burner. So if we look at the ramp, that is a piece of pallet which we painted and then simply cut up some sticks and attach them to it to make like a ladder. I really like the fact that it looks quite rustic. It's an idea that I picked up off Pinterest. I think it makes it look a bit nicer in there as well. So the actual door is simply something we bought on Amazon for £20. It's just a metal door on 2 frames, or 2 sliders down each side. And here is just a tunnel we've made out of chicken mesh, which just keeps anything in from getting in or anything from getting out. So the actual pulley system we've made here is a hook here and just over here. And then for me to close the door, I simply take the hook off. Drop the door really easily. It's a bit noisy. I'm probably going to remove the chain when it comes to winter, but obviously the idea and principles there, which seems to really work for me at the moment. So if we move to the inside of the actual chicken house, so underneath I've got all my storage, so food, de-earth, ground sanitizer, mealworms, old houses that we had, my broody box and Paulie box if I need to separate any of them. I've got all my bedding and straw in there, and all my medications as well down here. So, sorry, what we've got in here is just a gardening bucket with some sleepers around the edge, just to create like a nest box. I've just put some straw in there with some de-earth at the bottom. Here are the perches for the girls. Just one moment. Perches which they like to sit on. I'm spraying smite spray every night at the every morning, just in case nothing's settling in, because no red mite likes new wood. Also got de-earth, which I've sprinkled on the perches as well, just in case. They're not taken to the perches right away, so I'm having to put them on that every night. I'm finding them all huddled up on the floor at the moment. So that essentially is it. I hope someone can take some inspiration from that. I took loads of inspiration off the internet, but generally, I mean, it took us a while to build, but the actual house itself it's quite simple in principle. It's just I think it's a 2x4 shed which we've divided in half and painted a nice colour. So I hope you liked it and look forward to your comments.